Welcome to the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Want to jump in, talk a little bit of recruiting this afternoon, even though we're a week away. We are 1 week away from spring practice. I am excited. I am ready for football. I know it's March Madness. I know the baseball team is getting ready to go into conference play, but I live, breathe, sleep Tennessee football. I cannot wait. I'm ready to see what the identity of this football team is going into 2023. What does this football team look like without Hendon Hooker, without Jalen Hyatt? I am fired up. I am ready for practice. But I want to talk a little bit about recruiting because as we continue to look at Josh Heupel's identity as he puts his fingerprint on this team, he's had a lot of success with guys that were here before he arrived. And now we're starting to see his fingerprint on the University of Tennessee football program. And there's a lot of talk, a lot of buzz, a lot of hype out there. We're talking about, the top ranked wide receivers in the country. What wide receiver wouldn't want to come play in this offense, right? We're talking about Jarrett Gibson, the number 1 ranked running back in the country, showing legitimate interest in Tennessee. We talk about Rodney Garner. Every defensive lineman in the country wants to play for Rodney Garner. If you want to get to the league, if you want to make millions of dollars getting after the quarterback, Rodney Garner is the way. We talk about the Caleb Herrings, Shandavion Bradley, James Pierce, Tyree West, David Hobbs. The talent level that Rodney Garner is building is stacking higher and higher and higher. But in order for this football team to take the next step, in order for them to go from being ranked 36th nationally in scoring defense to top 15, or dare I say top 10 in college football playoff appearances, they're going to have to get better at the second and third levels on defense. Today, I want to talk particularly about the linebacker position. The number 1 ranked linebacker in the class of 24, Sammy Brown, laying out his schedule for recruiting coming up in April, coming up into the summer as well. We're going to talk about him. But Brian Jean-Marie, I broke down the linebackers this morning for the spring preview going into spring practice. And I think when you look at the class of 23, Brian Jean-Marie did a good job recruiting. Getting Arian Carter was huge. Jeremiah T-Lander, a lot of people think he's underrated. Jalen Smith, that's a dude. What would this defense look like with Arian Carter side by side with Sammy Brown locking down that linebacker position? How much better can this defense be? We're going to take a look at Sammy Brown, what he brings to the table, what he's looking for in the football team he commits to, and also take a look at his schedule. He will be visiting Rocky Top a couple of times. We'll get into it. We'll talk about it. But as always, you guys know what to do. Smash that thumbs up just below the video. Hit that little thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin' VAWLS Network, this is the first time you've ever watched the video, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We don't talk at you. We talk with you. This is a community. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do around here, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live, when we drop videos, when we drop content. We'll be live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be breaking down the defense as we head into spring practice, but also every Wednesday this month. We are going to be doing a live film breakdown next Wednesday. We're going to be doing a fan call-in show the Wednesday after that. Plus, we are live on this channel every single Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Come hang out. Always a ball. Let's get into it. Let's talk a little Sammy Brown. You can see there on the screen, 247 Sports does rank him as the number 1 linebacker in the country. And again, when we talk about what Josh Heupel has done, when we talk about rebuilding Tennessee, when we talk about Tennessee being back, Tennessee is back. When you look at this class of 24 and you've got the top-ranked wide receiver, you've got the top-ranked running back, you've got the top-ranked linebacker, you got the top-ranked, everybody in the country is taking notice. And Sammy Brown is one of those guys that was on campus. He was visiting when Tennessee took on Florida, the atmosphere. He talked about the electric energy in the crowd on Rocky Top. People are taking notice, and that's why we are seeing so many of these kids show interest in the class of 24. I've said it multiple times. I feel like this class, I know last year was special. Nico was a big part of that, but Nico bleeds into the class of 24. I think Josh Heupel needs to lock down a top 10, top 5 class in order to keep this thing going in the right direction. Sammy Brown ranks 6th nationally across all players, according to 247 Sports. 6'2.5", 225 pounds, out of Jefferson, Georgia. Scouting report tells you everything you need to know. Prototype build with college-ready size at the linebacker position. Requisite height with plus length. Play style athleticism likely will keep him at linebacker. But he owns the physical tools that could provide edge snaps. I talked this morning about the linebackers and Aaron Beasley and the way he gets after the quarterback. That's something Sammy Brown can do with that athleticism. put pressure on the quarterback. Says he is an explosive athlete with verified data on the track and in combine testing environments, elite track speed relative to size, three-sport athlete who competes in wrestling, and that's part of why he is kind of late. He's kind of late getting these visits scheduled because he's been busy winning his second state title in a row on the wrestling mats. And you guys know how much I love wrestlers and how they transition to the football field. Says he is a three-phase impact player at Georgia 5A level, high-volume workload with home run hitting athleticism at running back, violent runner who gets downhill quickly and runs through arm tackles, pull away, open field speed that supports athletic markers. Violence translates to linebacker. Sign me up for that. Triggers quickly and attacks the ball. Explosiveness combines with size and strength to provide impact striking ability, broad pursuit range thanks to athleticism and awareness, aggressive in the box with size and power to mix it up between the tackles, excellent production. This kid is everything you want with a linebacker. The violence, that's what I like to hear, the violence, the wrestling background, the athleticism, the speed. Again, line up Sammy Brown and Arian Carter side by side at the linebacker position, and let's go play football. That's how we get Tennessee back. You know, it starts up front. It starts in the trenches with the defensive line, and Rodney Garner is rebuilding that defensive line. Now, let's start adding guys at the second and third level, and we go from 36th in scoring defense to top 10, top 5 with the best offense in the country. Nobody is going to be able to stop Josh Heupel and what he wants to do. So let's talk about his schedule, his visit schedule. Again, hasn't been very active so far in March because of wrestling season. He's also getting ready to go right into track. But he does have unofficial visits. Oklahoma, first weekend in April. Also going to visit Georgia and Clemson. And it has been confirmed via Matt Ray over at On3 that he is going to be in Knoxville unofficially Easter weekend, April the 8th. And a big part of that is he's got family in the area. So that's kind of playing to Tennessee's hand here for Easter weekend. Get him on campus, that unofficial visit. But he's also laying out his schedule for official visits rolling into the summer because he wants to make a decision the first or second week in July. And when you look at everything, you go to the on3.com recruiting prediction machine. It really does look like a Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State race with Tennessee kind of fourth in the mix there. On3.com recruiting prediction machine, Clemson 27.6, Georgia 21.5, Ohio State 13.9, and Tennessee 7.8% chance to land the number one linebacker in the country. But again, he's setting up those official visits. Georgia likely to get the second weekend in June, Ohio State to follow there, and then Oklahoma the last weekend. But he did tell, I read a 247 Sports article where he did tell them that he is going to work Tennessee in there for an official visit at some point, likely in June, maybe early July. We will see. Again, he wants to make that decision the first or second week in July. So does Tennessee have a shot here when we're looking at Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson kind of being out front? Where can Tennessee make up ground? Again, family in the area. That's key. That is key. That is part of this recruitment. But also, we talk about Josh Heupel and the culture that he has created in Knoxville. And that's something that Sammy Brown talked about in an interview with On3. Said, I would say the culture is probably the most important thing, especially in this time of college football. You're going to have coaches coming and going. You're going to have a very centered culture of a program just because of how things have been. I think strong centered culture is going to be one of the most important things that I'm looking for. And Tennessee has not had much turnover. Obviously, Alex Golish getting promoted, taking that head coaching job at USF. That's big. I think that's important for Tennessee. You also had Coach Burns going off to the NFL, but you promote from within. You promote your tight ends coach from within. You promote your wide receivers coach from within and keep that continuity, and that plays into the culture that Sammy Brown is talking about there. He's been to Knoxville tons of times, again, with family in the area. Visited a couple of times in 2021. He also visited in March of last year, and he was also on Rocky Top when Tennessee beat the Florida Gators this past season, and that was big. That the environment, he talked about the energy, the fan base. College game day was on hand. Just big momentum for Tennessee recruiting Sammy Brown. Are they on the outside looking in? Maybe, but they've got an opportunity. They've got a shot. And these are the type of guys, right? When we talk about elite players that Josh Heupel needs to lock up in order to get to that next level. And again, you look back at the class of 23, you look at Arian Carter, Jalen Smith, those are big time players. And you continue to add those. You go get a guy like Sammy Brown, you continue to improve that secondary. Let Rodney Garner do what he does on the defensive line, and Tennessee is going to be just fine. But somebody asked me last night during the NCAA stream if I had an update on Sammy Brown, so I wanted to get this video out and let you guys know that he is scheduling those visits. He will be in Knoxville. You guys hit the comment section. Does Tennessee have a shot at landing the number one linebacker in the country? Is this crucial? Is this key for Josh Heupel finding success? Look, you can go out and score 50 points a game, but if the other team scores 52, guess what? You lose and you move on. You got to build that defense to get to the next level. So hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. As always, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. You guys know what to do. Go check out the merch, bonfire.com/store/talking VAWLS. We appreciate the support. Thank you to the members of the channel. You want to become a member, hit that join button down below. Only $1. Just $1. If you got a spare $1, you like the content, hit that join button. We would greatly appreciate it. You get access to fan call-in shows, access to custom Talkin' VAWLS emojis, Power T beside your name, all kinds of fun stuff, but we would appreciate that support. That's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.